Michael Morone.
I'll say this now, but Commissioner Parrish, I engaged in a trade-off with Duke. They needed to use the armory for the guys to sleep in. And my trade-off was, you keep the power on in Franklin County, you can have the armory for free. So, and that wasn't approved by Attorney Schuler either, just to let you guys know.
I can appreciate you saying that, Michael.
So we do everything we do to keep
Because
it
I'm the one
there.
that, the power's always off, you know, so I can appreciate that.
All right, Commissioners, we have two items in our Board of Adjustment report to you, consent agenda to you. The first one is a consideration of a variance request to construct a riprap preventment landward of mean high water on property described as 310 Seafoam Circle. It was also known as Lot 70, Summer Camp West in Franklin County. The property is owned by 310 Seafoam LLC, care of Matthew Gleason. It was submitted, this request was submitted by Garlic Environmental Associates.
Okay,
Thank you
I've
for
got,
homework.
I've got some questions for this, and what I'm gonna do is, I've just spoken with Dan Garlic, and I'm gonna ask this board to allow me to table this, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why and give you some background on it, and that's the reason why I'm asking it to table. I don't wanna vote it down, but because I'm asking Dan to go back and do an alternative method of doing this. In that area that you see, in the St. James area, there is not any revetment like this in that area. And as we all know from experience with Alligator Point, when you start putting those rock revetments down, you're starting to cause erosions on either side. So there is some alternatives down the road that I want Dan to look at. Possibly, maybe we can use it on that. And it's sort of like a stepping stone type, you know, such stuff that is like flush with the bottom layer is flush with the coastline, shoreline, and that I don't think would cause as much damage as what this would. I mean, I'm no professional, but just being in the county commission business for as many years as I have, I've seen what we've done. So anyway, with Mr. Dan Garlic's permission, I'm going to go ahead and table this item.
Yeah. If I could just ask, I want to make sure I understand exactly where the Crumbs Motel, because I was thinking in my head, I'm trying to figure out where.
Now, wait just a minute, Dan.
I'm trying to remember where it is.
Now, wait just a minute,
You got
Dan.
this on, don't know where it's at?
Well, here, I mean, see, I remember what happened to Island View and all that stuff in there. And
This is
Crumbs
way out
Motel
there.
was out there more by, used to be
It's just,
Julie.
it's just back west of the bungalows by the bay, and you'll see an
Okay,
area,
okay.
yeah, you'll see an area that goes, and it's got a chain link fence, and it goes down, cuts in, comes back around, and then goes in there.
No, that's
All
not the one
those
that
houses-
that's not the one that Annie Wakey did.
That's
It's even more than that,
east
okay.
of Anawakey.
Because he had a dock one time, I remember, he said, this is the way to build these docks, Dan. He said, put them below about 3 foot, so when the water comes over, you won't see it disappear. Of course, nobody likes that because it kills the seagrass, so it's kind of.
There's the old wooden house right across the street from it, Dan. You'll
Yeah.
see an old Crum house right
Yeah.
across the
Yeah,
street from
it's
it.
down that area. The old Crum house is the old wooden house that's falling in, you can't help
Yeah.
it. But if you'll do that, and let's contact me, and let's get some alternative method going.
Yeah.
I like the little slope, like I was talking about, the stepping stone, because what it's made with sandbags, probably concrete mixed with sand. And they're layered in, but they're about that thick, you know, and they're layered, you know, and it goes up. And I mean, to me, that's a better approach than those big rocks that get tossed and turned around. And if you saw Alligator Point after this last storm, you'll see why I'm saying that. They took those 2,000-pound barricades we had down there and just pushed it across the road, about from here back into that building right here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you can do that, I sure would appreciate it, but I'm gonna do a motion to table.
Okay. And can we do that to like to the next commission meeting, October?
Next plan and zoning,
If they have a meeting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the next time.
Which
So we
is-
did the Board of
yeah.
Adjustment here on the second
We're-
meeting.
Yeah,
Well, the second meeting in October we'll do it.
okay, so then,
If you bring something,
okay. So basically what I'll do is, I'm gonna look at some design alternatives, I'll go back to BOA, and then we'll bring it forward from there. Okay.
well,
Sorry?
you're out of BOA is what I was thinking. What do you think, Mr. Schuler?
BOA's approved it. I mean, that's what I was saying, if we could do it the first week.
Were there questions at BOA about this area also? Because also you gotta think, there's seagrass beds out here, there's Turkey Point, there's Turkey Creek right there. I'm concerned about this area.
Yes, Commissioner, there was some discussion among the members along the same lines that you're talking about with the initial insertion of basically a vertical rock wall. As far as procedurally, if we're changing it, then I think we probably do need to send him back to BOA, but not charge another. I mean, we never have had a problem with BOA having quorums the way your P&Z has had issues. You've got an excellent group of people, not this, anybody else, I'm saying you've got a really good group of people on BOA, and you consistently have a quorum. So I don't think that will be an issue, but I don't think charging another application fee would be appropriate. Just to let them consider a new design alternative, act on that at their meeting in October, and then bring it to you for your consideration. It's your second meeting in October.
Well, like I said, my thing is, if you come back with an alternative that's comparative to that area, I don't have no problem, but if you come back with the rocks, I'm gonna do a motion to vote no, and I may not get the support I need, but I'm just gonna tell you how I'm gonna do.
You and I need to have a field trip.
Do we have a second on the motion? I haven't.
Oh, you know.
Not yet, I fixed that. I got a motion, need a second.
Second.
Got a motion, second on the floor, all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Good to you.
Now, Commissioners, you guys did something really good there, because you guys said Crum Motel. I turned to Alan, he's like, I don't know. I've never heard Alan say he didn't know about something in the county, so.
All right.
You remember if you remember if you saw. It was a little old, no, there was a low motel on the right-hand side, right before you got to Martha's.
That's Mr. George Crum.
Mr. George,
We call him
Yellow
Sweet-
Motel,
Mr.
about-
Sweet Crum.
10 rooms, probably, 6 rooms, something.
I'm sorry.
Slightly older than I am.
Okay, Commissioners, item 2, consideration of request for beach renourishment within a critical habitat zone on property described as 109 South Bayshore Drive in East Point. The property is owned by Tony Garcia. The request is submitted by Garlic Environmental Associates, agent for the homeowner. BOA has a recommendation, approval of this beach renourishment request with the stipulation that the graded slope of less than 1 to 5 be maintained and the sand be of same size and color of the existing beach sand.
This is a project that we are between two rocks. I guess you say we are in the soft spot between two hard spots. So, but this fellow, we talked about it for a long time. He wants a sandy beach and he's willing to try a soft approach. And so this is a route we're looking at, is just coming in, basically renourishing the beach.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
your slope down in your drawing shows 1 to 6, and they're recommending 1 to 5.
Well, here's how this works out. I did 1 to 6 purposely because if you go below, if you make it steeper than 1 to 5, then you have to have an engineering analysis. So, because you're in a V zone. And so, and also the flood prone, in the V zone. So the idea is the 5 to 1 is, and the 1 to 6 is actually going to be even less steep than 1 to 5. And that's why I purposely did that.
Okay,
to keep it right
okay,
above there.
okay,
It's numbers.
okay.
From the looks of it, this looks like it's a high erosion area too.
Yeah, there's, if you see on your drawing, you see that scarp that goes up, that was from Dennis. And this is one where, it's a classic thing where you got breakwater, or you got revetments on both sides, and this guy's in the center, and he's the one that's taking a beating. He doesn't want to do a rock wall. He'd rather try the sand beach and see how that works first, and goes from there.
There's slope is not too material right now because the ocean's it's gonna change
Yeah.
as soon as you put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a motion on the floor. I need a motion for it.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Got a motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
That's the end of the Board of Adjustment consent agenda.
That's the end of yours.
That's all your point.
Miss Debbie?
Board of Adjustment. Oh, okay.
Ms. Debbie Belcher? CDBG?
Morning. Have a bid to approve, not award, but approve. Harriet Beach's mobile home, we have 3 bids that we got in for her to contract with the contractor, and the county provides the financing through the CDBG grant. There were what you would call informalities. Hopefully, the bidders will understand the bidding process better next time. But the contractor, there were three. The one that proposed the lowest price is Oxendine Construction Services, LLC. And I'm recommending that you award the funding, approve the bid for this project. And I'd like a confirmation for the record that none of you have a conflict of interest with Oxendine Construction Services, LLC.
I don't.
I don't.
Okay, and we'll need that in the minutes, please.
I don't even know.
All
I
right.
don't.
Okay.
I mean, I know them, but I don't have no.
Right, okay. The second issue I need is that, we already discussed this once before, but you have a limit of $7,000 on pre-1995 mobile home rehabilitation. And we discussed the fact that her home is in really good condition. She's done some adding. She came into some money and did some work on the home herself. So it is not a typical 1995, pre-95 mobile home. So I recommend that you waive the limit for this particular project. So we need that on the record before we could actually approve.
We needed a motion on the first round, so let's do the first round and then we'll do it right. We're gonna do it all in one,
I'm trying to figure out how
Michael.
many things she wanted you to do. You do have the authority to package
Can
all
we
different
package it up?
items. As long as it's just for this one item from Ms. Harriet Beach, yes, sir. So how many things do you need them to do?
I need them to waive the limit, and then I need them to waive the informalities in the bid and to approve the bid from Oxendine Construction.
What were the informalities in the bid?
Not having things, I mean, like Oxendine, he gave us a contract. I had done a sample contract, the one that you and I worked on, and gave it to all of the bidders so that they would see, what is it going to look like. Instead of giving the itemized bid form, he put his price on that contract form and did not give us the itemized bid form. So I said, I've got to have the itemized bid form in order to do this. Polaronis came in, he didn't have his numbers added up correctly, but he did get his bid in on time. What he did not do is give us an alternate. We asked for an alternate for a metal roof because that's what the owner wanted. And so typically, a metal roof is more expensive than a shingle. So the base bid was shingles, the additive was a metal roof. Then Bird's Construction, they were the high bidder. They came in with, what they submitted was a cell phone copy of the bid form filled out, but not the second page with the signature and the amount on it. So they all had, none of them did everything just the way they should have. Polaronis came in closest. Polaronis was standing there when Mark Curenton and I opened these, and I said, oh my gosh, Oxendine's given us a bid amount on this form, and he gave us another document, it's a supporting document, and he put the same price on it, but he did not give us the quote form. And Polaronis says, well, you're not going to gig him on that, are you? So, and I said, well, you're the next bidder, so you're not objecting to that, because Polaronis was the second one, and had we bumped out the first one, Polaronis would have had it. So he said, no. He said, I think that's fair. And then, of course, Bird's is not in the running because of being the highest. So none of them did exactly what done.
We need to start over.
Well, they each gave us a price on the base, and then the alternate for Oxendine is $2,000 less than the base for the metal
Getting
roof.
more work done.
Yeah, well, a better product, or what
Right.
the owner wants anyway, just because that's who he does his roofing with. So the low bid when you corrected everybody's adding and subtracting and using their unit prices, the low bid is from Oxendine Construction Services for $12,825. Now, again, I told Mark, I said, you know, this is one where the board can do pretty much whatever they want to. They can throw them all out, they can award to Polaronis because Oxendine didn't have the right form in, or they can waive the informalities.
Was everyone given the equal opportunity to bring the bids into
Yes.
conformity, and did they all do so, or just some?
Yeah, because I asked Polaronis, well, what would your metal roof be? Because with the two base bids, they were not a whole big distance apart. They're about, what is it, 1,400, well, 14,825 for Oxendine's base, and then Polaronis's base, when I corrected his math addition, errors, was down to 16,350. So that's, you know, sort of close. So that's why I asked Polaronis for the alternate for the metal roof.
That's the email you sent us yesterday.
Yes, sir. And
Okay.
I explained all these, like, it was not an ideal bid situation.
Legal advice?
Yeah, that's what, so everyone received a fair and equal opportunity to bring their bids into conformity, and they all did so?
In one way or the other, yes.
Sure, that's
Yes.
fine.
And now, I did not contact Birds only because they were so much higher than the other two.
Right.
But they did give us an itemized bid.
Right,
Birds
right.
did.
Commissioners, I think you would be fine in your discretion if you want to. You could either require that these be rebid, or you can waive the informalities under this circumstance.
Let's do it all in one package?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion, second on the floor, all in favor? All opposed, motion carries.
And if, now, we'll proceed along with the contract and the loan document to Ms. Beach. The deferred payment loan's very similar to the SHIP agreement. Michael Schuler and I have worked on this. So if your policy is that the county coordinator can approve change orders up to $1,000, anything over $1,000 we can't do unless it's a code item anyway, because that's what CDBG says. So, but I would like, just in case we run into something that's more than $1,000 and is code-related that we need to correct, which I don't expect, but I'd like for you to authorize the county coordinator to approve that so we don't have to wait to the next commission meeting, should that need arise.
Up to how much?
1,000.
Over 1,000. He already has authority to do 1,000. And again, the only way CDBG lets you do a change order of more than 1,000 is if it's for a code correction.
Mr. Chairman, if I can, if I may. So if there is a change order in excess of $1,000 and it is required because of the code violation, you're going to have this pre-approved by CDBG before you bring it to Mr. Merle.
We don't have to have it pre-approved by by the state. What the state's policy is, if it's for a code type of violation. So we get in, for example, you see there's a wall that's rotted, you know. Rehab's a different animal. You know, you uncover things sometimes that you don't expect. You realize that there's something that you could not see before. In this case, the only unknown I'm expecting is a condition of our environmental clearance was that if the mobile home is not tied down properly, that we correct that. And it is so tight underneath that it was just really difficult to get to. And I didn't want to damage the skirting that she had in place, so we put an item in there for the contractor to inspect underneath, check with the building official. If it needs to be beefed up in terms of the tie-down system, then we will take care of that. That's really the only thing I'm thinking we'll run into in this case.
All right,
Maybe it should be limited just to that circumstance. I think I understand what the board may be concerned about is there's no apparent ceiling or guidance to Mr. Morone and how to go about approving any code violation correction in excess of $1,000. So maybe if we limit it to what you suggested, the tie-down issue.
Okay, whatever, I was just trying to save time. You know, I want to get this job done without having to wait for commission meetings. That was, I don't think we're going to have a problem, but yeah, tie-downs will be the only thing that I'm really expecting in this case.
Now, I'm gonna go by your words that you've got down here, Debbie, and it says authorize the county coordinator to approve change orders in excess of $1,000 if required for a code violation such as inadequate tie-down.
Yes, ma'am, because that is the only change order we can do in
And
excess
you
of
don't see no
$1,000.
problem with it, Mr. Sheila?
Well, I'm wondering how this, I don't know enough information to tell you if there's, I have a
That's
concern, because you just adopted recently a new policy, a bid policy just for your CDBG program, and there are multiple tiers of, you know, when things have to be bid, when they don't have to be bid, and how they have to be bid. So, I mean, we will, I'm sure the board wants to be accommodating with you on this, but can we table this and let you and I sit down and refine
Okay.
it to the next meeting, and
Okay.
then maybe come back with some additional
I make a
guidance
motion
the
to
board?
table.
Okay.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Thank you. Got the bid, to open up right here.
Hey, Commissioners, this is a long-awaited renovation project for
The bathroom.
bathrooms, Carabel and St. George Island. We had 3 bidders, I thought we'd have 5, but we have 3, so hey, something better than nothing. Now, you're gonna see what, the way it's set up, Commissioners, you got your total bid, then you have an alternate for some work that they might want done, and then I asked them to break down Carabel and St. George Island, just so we can see the difference. So the 2 last columns should add up to the first one, and then, and the alternate is on the second.
Stand over there. Y'all stand back.
Okay. All right, the first one is,
Who's that? GADCON, okay. So the first column, their total bid is $330,000, $492.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
330,
And that's GADCOM.
yes, 492 and no cents, 330. Now,
Are these
they're,
bathroom bids?
No, they're building new they're building all new buildings, aren't they?
well,
3,
I can build 3 houses, let me stop, okay.
Yeah.
$330,492. Now, I'm gonna tell you, the architect ran the numbers in-house in his firm, and they came up with about $100,000 for the St. George Island and about $80,000 for the Caravel work.
they gonna put,
Now, that's total bid?
Yeah, that's a total bid.
It's not broken out between Carabel and.
It is. Before we get to that, the alternate was $5,400, $5,400. The alternate.
54.
Okay, now, I'm gonna break it down. St. George Island was 146,717,
146.
and Caribou was 183,775, 183,775. Oh, my goodness, okay. So, first one, that's great.
Boy, that's a bid high.
Okey-doke.
the second one is from Godfrey Builders out of Tennessee. I'm sorry.
Turn that up.
Just read them.
315,876, $315,876. Jesus.
Okay.
His alternate is 2,294. St. George Island is 153,653. And Carabel is 162,223.
Get Carabel again?
162,223. So he has Carabel more than St. George Island.
Both of them do.
Carabel was.
162.
I thought it was easier.
Smaller. All right, Total Ones Construction is the last one.
This to renovate, right?
It's not even just.
Yeah, we went back to do that. Don't have money.
Total ordinance is $269,100, $269,100. That's his total bid. It's all $2,600. St. George Island is, I'm sorry if I'm going too fast, I'll,
Okay.
we're ready? St. George Island is $145,600, $145,600. And Carabel is $123,500, $123,500.
I make a motion re-advertise.
We don't have that much.
I'll tell you, let me run this by the architect Doug Schuler, and next meeting, I'll come back
Yeah, 'cause I ain't
with
got
some
money to
comments.
do this.
They ain't got money to do one.
This
90,
is,
I thought 90.
this is not what I expect, because
Wasn't it about 90,000 we have?
his estimate was 180 for both projects. Doug Schuler was.
I thought we would be able to do one this year and one next, maybe, but, you know.
Well,
not
the
at
one
these
thing about
prices.
Carabel, we've got to fix that
We
electrical.
got an
problem.
electrical problem and a leakage problem coming down in the wall that's problem there.
Again, let me talk to Doug, and then I'll get with Kurt, and then by next meeting, I'll have something to tell
We've
you.
been on this Carabel.
Okay, I
route
make a
for-
motion that we turn this over to Michael Marone and let him come back with us for a recommendation
Second.
at the next meeting.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor? All opposed, motion carries.